crisis in Syria is certain to dominate. World leaders are gathering for the summit, and they will address whether there should be a military response to the alleged chemical weapons attack in Syria. Meanwhile, in the United States, a key committee of the U.S. Senate has approved the use of force, but votes by the full Senate and the House of Representatives are to come next week.
The resolution is agreed to and is ordered favorably reported by the committee.
Members agreed that the action should exclude ground troops and not exceed 90 days. The resolution now goes on to the full Senate. Members are expected to vote on the measure next week.
This measure permits the use of limited military force in Syria for a period of 90 days. However, it prevents the use of US troops on the ground. President Barack Obama has been trying to build support for action against the Syrian government for its alleged use of chemical weapons last month.
If there is no UN mandate, France's president cannot take such a major decision without the parliament voting. France's president has made for himself an institutional trap that has been made worse by the vote in Britain's parliament and the US Congress. Without European allies, can France seriously throw itself blindly into this kind of intervention? We think not.
World leaders arrive in St. Petersburg for a summit that may highlight the glaring differences between them on the critical issue of the day. The G20 host, Vladimir Putin, is not talking like a man who's ready to compromise with the United States over Syria.
I have watched the debates in Congress, and when they asked Secretary Kerry, is there Al-Qaeda in Syria, Kerry said, no. I say officially, they're not there. But the rebels known as Al-Nusra, they're a unit of Al-Qaeda. Kerry and the others know this. I don't like seeing this. We communicate with them and assume they're decent people. But he lies openly, and he knows that he lies.
But his guest, the American president, stopping in Sweden en route to the summit, spoke as if military action is inevitable.
My credibility is not on the line. The international community's credibility is on the line. And America and Congress's credibility is on the line because we give lip service to the notion that these international norms are important. I didn't set a red line. The world set a red line. The world set a red line when governments representing 98% of the world's population said the use of chemical weapons are abhorrent and passed a treaty forbidding their use even when countries are engaged in war. Congress set a red line when it ratified that treaty.
The last time the two presidents met, they could barely look each other in the eye. It's been steadily downhill from there.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Obama described Putin as looking like the bored kid at the back of the class.
Right now we are at a stage when the relations between the two nations are, I would say, at an all-time low since the collapse of the USSR.
That's the starting point. Over the next 2 days in this city, the alliances that are made here and the divisions that remain will form the basis for what happens next on Syria.